One of the things that's going to help tremendously when you're creating new invoices is to have Lizzy know exactly which taxes are supposed to go on the invoice when you create it. So in this video, we're going to show you how to actually do that. And we're going to start out here by going to settings, and then we're going to come over here to general, and we're going to go down here to tax rates. And up here in the top, you'll see it says set default taxes. So we've gone through the steps of adding the taxes that we need to have at the dealership or at the business. Now we're going to tell it which specific taxes we want to have be the ones that go on the invoice when we first create it. And we can always change that, but right now we want to just say that anytime I create a new part sale, for example, I want these taxes on it. So we're going to go ahead and select the setup default taxes. And we've got a couple choices here. Now, in this database, I've got multiple locations. In yours, if you don't have multiple locations, you won't see all these options. But the primary thing that you're going to see is that we have invoice defaults and we have major unit defaults. Now, if the major unit defaults happen to be the same thing as the invoice defaults, then you don't want to set them. You just leave them alone. The only time that you'll set the defaults down here for the major unit section is if they happen to be a different set of taxes than you're using for the invoice defaults. So what we do here is we just select the tax that we want to have automatically put on the invoice. So let's say I want to put the California tax on here, hit the plus sign. You can have as many of these default taxes as you need to on the invoice. And again, when you get down here, you'll notice California is no longer in the list down here because it's already been added to the invoice defaults. So if you, again, don't have specific taxes that are different for major unit sales versus over-the-counter part sales, then you don't need to fill in this information down here at the bottom. Just fill it in for the top for the invoice defaults and you're done. And from this point forward, anytime we go over here to create a new invoice, we'll locate a contact and we'll do a part sale. And if we look down here on the taxes, we now have city and California selected automatically.